Hey Love Bugs, it's me again, and yes, I have done a lot of videos lately. I'm sorry for the lighting if it looks weird. Also sorry for my hair. As my shirt says, it's one of those days where I just don't feel good. But I wanted to come on here and talk about my personal experience um, with our trip. That's what I'm trying to say. So first and foremost, we went up to Smoky Mountain, Tennessee, Kodak, and we were up at the Clarion at Willow River, I think is what it was called. It was a beautiful hotel. It was very nice. You saw some pictures a couple days ago in our live stream. And we had a lot of fun. We were there. We were at the Clarion for 2 days. We went to Pigeon Forge the following day. We left at 10 o'clock Thursday morning. Didn't get to the hotel till 5 o'clock Thursday night. We were exhausted. We were zonked. We'd only made one stop in Valor. Y'all Tennesseans tell me if I'm wrong. It was like Baltimore or I don't remember what it was called. Something like that. We stopped on our way up. It was about an hour, I think, south of Kodak where we're supposed to be staying. And then we went to the hotel, obviously, and then we, hung out at the hotel. We didn't venture out that night. Then we went to, where was it? We went somewhere near Pigeon Forge. It was like 20 minutes outside of Pigeon Forge. No, not even 20. Like 5 minutes outside of Pigeon Forge. Some pretty like racetrack area. I think it was called the Raceway Cafe or something like that. We went over there, and then we went to Pigeon Forge, got lost. Yeah, that was an experience. There was a lot of different turns and a lot of different ways to go, and it was just there was a lot of traffic closer to Pigeon Forge. Not as much as, like Atlanta or something like that, but there was a lot of traffic. And my husband's not an experienced driver. That was our first really long car trip. So he wasn't quite comfortable with all of that. So we got a little lost and we got a little whipped around, so to speak. We didn't get into any wrecks. We didn't get into any car accidents. Nothing went wrong. We just took a bunch of wrong turns and got dizzy. Well, I got dizzy. But we ended up at the island at Pigeon Forge, and I've posted a video on that on what our favorite things were. And then what we stayed there. Let's see, we got done with lunch around 12, and then we were there until 6, I think. So we spent a good 6 hours over at the island. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I'm really tired. Still kind of jet lagged or just really tired from traveling. We went over to the island. We did some shopping. I did go to Build-A-Bear because I wanted something for when I go to the hospital to remind me of my puppy, because my puppy's my life. And then we went and got old-timey photos done. I will do a completely separate video on that. We went to a candy shop that smelled really sweet, and we'd eaten at noon, and it was like 4 or 5 by the time we went in there. So we were really dizzy as it was and hungry. So they had this cotton candy fudge that was to die for. We didn't get any, unfortunately, because we were just nauseated from being hungry. So then we went to Paula Deen's Country Kitchen, and he got a peach sweet tea, and I got a lemonade. And then we got her macaroni and cheese, her creamy potatoes, her collard greens, and her poppy seed salad, and we got pork chops and fried chicken. And then you get a dessert. And he got the ooey gooey cake, and I got the banana pudding. I've kind of covered all of this, but the way it works is you go in, you order, and you get 2 meats and 4 sides for the table. So, and you can get however much you want. But you can't take any home. And you get a dessert. So, you each get a dessert. So you do that, and it's delicious. The collard greens are really spicy. But other than that, everything was delicious. And then we got done there. I sat out at their little water fountain. Alex went into the Old Smoky Distillery for a moonshine tasting, just a bunch of different moonshines and things, little shots of them. Then we, and it was like happy hour type of a thing. So I couldn't handle it. I don't do crowds. So I just was like, hey, I'm going to go to the fountain, I'm going to chill. I'm going to go sit over here. I can't handle that. And he was like, okay, whatever, fine. And so then he went back in, did his thing. I sat at the fountain until he was done, and then we went over to a bunch of different shops and got Christmas stuff done. And got a lot of shopping done, and we went to Cinnabon. I got a cinnamon pretzel. He got some pretzel bites or whatever. And then we just walked around until both of us were like, okay, it's too cold, and we started walking back to our car. We got back in the car. There were some really pretty lights coming out of Pigeon Forge. All of their Christmas stuff was up. All of their Christmas lights and everything was gorgeous. If you've ever been to, like, Fantasy and Lights at Callaway, or, like, the Lake Lanier light stuff that they do for, like, Christmas, it was very similar to that, with all the big, like, things like that. It was very pretty. It was very beautiful. I didn't get any pictures because we were driving and we were both exhausted. It was dark and we were both exhausted from the whole day. So then we went back to the hotel, and we just basically crashed. We had eaten, we had food in our cooler, and we had put it in the fridge, and so we ate all our, like, snacks and things for that. And then we came, and then that next morning, okay, so now we're on to Saturday. Okay, sorry. I'm trying to remember all my days. It's been a long week recovering. So, Saturday, we get up around 9:30ish. We get up at like 8:30, because breakfast ends at 10. And we did get complimentary breakfast. So we did that, and then we left and headed home. We took some pictures outside of the hotel, as you saw. That would be on his birthday, so on the 18th, which is the Saturday. We did the things of that, and we left. And it still took us 8 hours to get home. It said it was supposed to be 4.5, but it was 8. So we start driving, we head out, and where you see a lot of the live streams in the car, that was us driving the 411 for I think we had like 167 miles on the 411 from where we were. So, excuse me. on the 411, we drove and drove and drove and drove, and I was taking pictures, as you saw in our 1950s live stream, or 1950s Candies live stream. But I took a bunch of pictures, and at that point, I already get car sick going up, and so taking the pictures and having to drive forever, and on top of that, I was taking all the pictures, and we were driving, and we were getting lost, and we were trying to get through traffic. So thankfully there wasn't a lot of traffic on the 411. It was more when we hit I-75 south, coming into Atlanta. That's where we really hit a lot of the traffic. But while we were up in Tennessee, there was a long stretch of road, and we were cramped in the car. We had a ton of stuff around us. Behind us was full, and in front of my feet was full. You guys didn't see that, so it was hard for me to move, and I wasn't feeling good, and I got sick there, or I was getting sick after I stopped all my live streaming, and I filmed my live streams on his phone because the channel is attached to both of our phones, so that makes it so easy. But I started filming and all that, and when I started feeling green in the gills, I was just like, okay, no. I'm done live streaming, I can't do this. And I turned on the radio, and I tried to relax. But we came back on the 18th. We came back into town around 5-ish, I think. 4:30, 5 o'clock-ish. We had to stop by his grandmother's house because she had a birthday gift for him. And then we stopped off at a food place close by, or a restaurant close by, literally not even 10 minutes away from the house. So we stopped there, ate our second meal of the day, because we'd eaten breakfast, and it was 5 o'clock before we ate our second meal, hence why I was getting sick closer inside traffic. But we got back to town. While he was in his grandmother's house visiting with her, I had called my sister and I'd called my dad. I called my sister because she'd been praying for our travels, and she knew that I was a nervous traveler, excuse me. And then I called my dad because I told him, because I don't know if your parents have done this, but what my parents did, or what my dad did specifically, is if I were to hang out with somebody, he needed to know who, what, when, where, and why. And so once I had all those details, then when I got to that place, call, make sure I was safe, say, hey, we made it, I'm here at whomever's house, my friend's house, hey, we're at Chick-fil-A, I made it to the church, da-da-da-da-da-da. So, because he'd done that with me when I was a kid, and I was a teenager and things, just that, because we still live in his basement, and because we're newly married and stuff, I called him, letting him know we were leaving when we left on Thursday. I called him when we got to the hotel, I texted him when we got to our first stop at the Hardee's, and then I called him when we got to the hotel room, and I had just, Alex had to bring me up first before he brought all the luggage in. So we did that, and then on the way back, I called him at breakfast, I texted him at breakfast, I don't remember if I called or texted something. I made communication with him and said, hey, we just finished breakfast, we're headed out, and we're headed home. So we did that. He was also watching my dog, while we were in Tennessee. So then we drove home, and then I called my dad while Alex was visiting his grandmother and spending time with her on his birthday. I physically couldn't get out of the car, because I was so dizzy and I didn't want to vomit on her driveway. So I just stayed in the car, and that was why. And then while I was there, I said, hey, we're back in town. We're at his grandmother's house, you know, because she's got a birthday gift, whatever, but we're back in town. We're going to go eat, and then we're going to come home. And then after I made that contact with my dad, I called my sister. Not even a couple minutes later, talked to her, told her we'd made it, all that jazz. And so I did that, and then we went to the Chinese restaurant and then came home. Called my dad as soon as we got home. As soon as I got back into the room, I said, hey, we're home. I'm downstairs. The dogs are out back because Alex has to bring the luggage in, and we had like 5 or 6 bags of luggage. Because we had a cooler, we had our 2 bags, we had to buy another bag there. We also had to bring my camera bag in and my purse in because I physically could not do any of that. Plus, I think we had some shopping bags that we had out. So he was bringing everything in, as far as like things that we got. And then we relaxed here. I will make another video on my pictures. I don't know if you can see it in the background. I have a picture back here on this black or this dark dresser right here where my thumb is. It's up top. It's over that. I can't really do it. It's up that way somewhere. Which way? That way somewhere. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, but I'll do a video on our old-timey photos and why we chose what we chose in another video. We have a couple of weird sodas that we bought in Tennessee. We also bought some moonshine from the distillery that we went to, and Alex wants to do a taste test on that for you guys. So that's at least 3 videos. That's actually 3 videos. Yeah, 3. 3. 3. 3. I can't. My hands are cold, sorry. But that's 3 videos for you guys. So we'll have the old-timey photos video, the soda taste test, and the moonshine taste test. And he can tell you all about his experience there, as far as that's concerned. And then, yeah. So I think those will be done after after Thanksgiving. And closer to Christmas, I'll probably record the video now, but I'll probably upload the video after Christmas maybe, as far as what I got everybody for Christmas. There's still a few things that I got to get people. I still got to get more for my sister and his sister. And I think I have something for his grandmother, and then a couple other things for me and Alex. And then stocking stuffers, and that's it. But that'll all be done after Christmas, and I will do a what I got everybody for Christmas haul. And then once I'm done shopping and everything. Excuse me. Ooh, excuse me. Yes, I'm recovering from altitude sickness because we were in the mountains. So I'm recovering from altitude sickness and car sickness and dizzy traveling stuff. So forgive me if I'm scatterbrained or if I'm rambling. But that is everything I wanted to catch you up on. I wanted to go ahead and just do a rundown of the trip and things of that nature. And then there will still be more Tennessee related vlogs coming up with the taste tests and the Christmas stuff. So you have at least 3 or 4 videos as far as that's concerned. So be looking forward to those. And remember that I love you, love bug. Mwah!